You have been told a lie. It is a lie that society whispers to you, a lie that the media reinforces, and a lie that perhaps even your own insecurities have led you to believe. The lie is this, that to attract a younger, beautiful woman, you must compensate for your age. You believe you must pay a tax for being older. You believe that she is the prize because of her youth, and you are the lucky spectator who must pay for a ticket to the show. This mindset is not just wrong, it is repulsive. It is the single greatest killer of attraction between an older man and a younger woman. You see men in their 40s and 50s making the same tragic mistakes over and over again. They have the resources, they have the life experience, they have the stability that women biologically crave, yet they find themselves ghosted, used for free dinners, or placed firmly in the friend zone, while she goes home to a guy who is broke, chaotic, and barely has his life together. Why does this happen? It happens because the older man often abandons his masculine frame to appease her. He trades his authority for her approval. Today we are going to dissect the 7 specific habits that older men fall into, habits that drain their power and kill female desire instantly. We are going to apply a surgical lens to female psychology, backed by the unshakable principles of Stoicism. If you are a man of value, it is time you stopped acting like a fan. It is time you started acting like the prize. Let us look at the reality of the situation. You might be a man who has built a business. You have survived the trials of early adulthood. You have perhaps raised children, navigated divorce, or climbed the corporate ladder. You have scars and you have stories. This is your value. But when you meet a woman 10 or 15 years younger than you, something shifts in your mind. You suddenly feel a deficit. You look at her smooth skin, her energy, her endless options, and you feel that you are lacking. So, what do? You try to balance the scales. You start doing things that you think will make you competitive with the younger men she knows. But in doing so, you violate the core laws of attraction. Imagine this scenario. You are sitting across from her. You have taken her to the finest restaurant in the city. The wine list is expensive. The ambiance is perfect. You are listening to her talk about her problems, her job, her friends. You are nodding, agreeing, and paying the bill without blinking an eye. You think you are showing her that you are a provider. You think you are showing her that you are a gentleman. But she does not see a gentleman. She sees a wallet. She sees a man who is trying to buy his way into her good graces because he does not believe his personality is enough. She smells the desperation. It is a subtle scent, but to a woman it is unmistakable. The pain of this dynamic is real. It leaves you feeling empty. You wonder why you are good enough to pay for the vacation but not good enough to be desired passionately. You wonder why she texts you when she needs advice or a favor, but she does not text you late at night just to hear your voice. The truth is, she wants what you have, but she hates how you offer it. She wants your stability, but she hates that you use it as a crutch. She wants your wisdom, but she hates that you use it to lecture her. We need to reframe this entire dynamic. We need to look at this through the lens of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, who taught us that we must distinguish between what is in our control and what is not. Her youth is not in your control. Your age is not in your control. What is in your control is your dignity. What is in your control is your behavior. When you sacrifice your dignity to chase youth, you lose everything. But when you stand firm in your reality, unashamed and apologetic, you become magnetic. Let us explore a story to illustrate this. There was a man, let us call him the architect. He was 45 years old, successful, fit, intelligent. He met a woman who was 26. In the beginning, he was terrified of losing her. He felt that she was out of his league, simply because of the age gap, so the architect started compensating. When she mentioned she liked a certain band, he pretended to like them too, even though he hated the music. When she wanted to go to loud, crowded clubs, he went with her, standing awkwardly in the corner, trying to look cool. He bought her gifts early on, expensive jewelry, trips. He wanted to lock her down. He wanted to prove he was better than the guys her age. But the more he gave, the more she pulled away. She started canceling dates. She started taking longer to reply to texts. Eventually, she told him the line every man dreads, "I just do not feel a spark. You are such a great guy, but I see you more as a mentor." He was crushed. He had given her everything. But that was the problem. He gave her everything except the one thing she actually wanted, a man. A man who was comfortable in his own skin. A man who did not need to pretend. A man who could say no. This leads us directly into the first habit that kills attraction. Habit number 1, leading with the wallet. This is the most common mistake older men make. You have money. That is a fact. And yes, financial security is attractive to women. It signals competence and survival ability. But there is a massive difference between having resources and leading with resources. When you lead with your wallet, you are implicitly telling her, I know I am not enough sexually or emotionally, so here is some money to make up for it. You are turning the interaction into a transaction. If you take a woman to a 5-star dinner on the first date, you set a precedent. You are saying that her presence alone is worth hundreds of dollars of your hard-earned resources. What has she done to earn that? Nothing. She simply showed up. The Stoic man understands value. He values his own labor and his own reward. He does not scatter his resources to the wind hoping for a return. He shares his resources only with those who have proven themselves worthy of his company. When you buy her affection, you attract women who are looking for a buyer. Do not be surprised when she treats you like a customer rather than a lover. Habit number 2, seeking validation for your age. This is a subtle psychological killer. It manifests in small comments. You might say things like, "Oh, I am probably too old for this," or "You must think I am ancient," or "I bet you usually date guys who are fitter than me." You are fishing for a compliment. You want her to say, "No, you are great. Age is just a number." But every time you point out your age with insecurity, you remind her of the gap. You frame yourself as the outsider. Confidence is silent. Insecurity is loud. A woman wants a man who is completely at peace with where he is in life. If you are 40, be 40. Own it. Do not apologize for it. The Stoic embraces fate. Amor fati. Love of one's fate. You are not 25 anymore. Good, you do not want to be 25. You have wisdom now. You have power now. When you apologize for your age, you are apologizing for your power. Stop doing it. Habit number 3, the cool dad syndrome. We have all seen this man. He is 50, but he dresses like he is 22. He wears ripped skinny jeans. He uses slang that does not fit his tongue. He tries to keep up with the latest TikTok trends. He thinks that by mimicking youth he becomes young. It does not work. It looks like a costume. It signals a deep rejection of the self. Women are attracted to authenticity. A man in a well-tailored suit or simple, mature clothing that fits his frame is infinitely more attractive than a man trying to look like a SoundCloud rapper. When you try to act like her peers, you place yourself in competition with her peers, and you will lose that competition because they are naturally young and you are acting. But when you act like a mature man, you have no competition because her peers cannot compete with your experience and gravity. Do not demote yourself from a king to a jester just to fit in. Habit number 4, over-availability. As an older man, you might have more control over your time. You might be retired, or you might own a business that runs itself, or perhaps you are just lonely. When you are always available, you kill the mystery. If she texts you at 2 p.m. and you reply instantly every single time, it signals that you have nothing better to do. It signals that she is the center of your universe. This is fatal. Attraction requires space. It requires longing. It requires the question, I wonder what he is doing right now. If she knows exactly what you are doing, waiting for her, she cannot fantasize about you. The Stoic man values his time above all else. Seneca wrote extensively about the shortness of life. Time is the one resource you can never get back. Do not give it away cheaply. If you are busy, be busy. If you are not busy, find a purpose that makes you busy. Do not clear your schedule the moment she snaps her fingers. When you are scarce, your presence becomes a gift. When you are abundant, your presence becomes a nuisance. Habit number 5, pedestalizing her youth. This is the dark side of the dynamic. You treat her like a goddess simply because her skin is unwrinkled. You act as if she possesses some magical quality that you are lucky to be near. This upsets the balance of power. It gives her the high ground. In any relationship, the person who needs the other less holds the power. If you act like her youth is the most valuable thing in the room, she will treat you like a fan. You must realize something profound. Youth is common. There are millions of young women. But a man of high value, high integrity, and high status, that is rare. You are the prize in this equation. You are the one who has built something. She is just beginning. When you internalize this, your behavior changes. You stop fawning over her. You stop complimenting her looks every 5 minutes. You start evaluating her character. You start asking yourself, is she worthy of my time? Habit number 6. Timidity and lack of physical leadership. Many older men fall into the trap of being too respectful. They are terrified of being seen as the creepy older guy, so they neuter themselves. They do not flirt. They do not initiate touch. They keep a safe distance. They hope that by being a perfect gentleman, she will eventually give them permission to be a man. This does not happen. If you do not create sexual tension, you are just a friend, or worse, a dad. Women want a man who is capable of aggression but chooses to be gentle. They do not want a man who is gentle because he is afraid to be aggressive. You must be willing to break the touch barrier. You must be willing to look her in the eyes with intent. You must be willing to risk rejection. A Stoic is not passive. A Stoic acts in accordance with nature. It is in the nature of the masculine to pursue and to initiate. Do not suppress your nature out of fear of social judgment. If you are respectful but bold, she will respond. If you are fearful and hesitant, she will dry up. Habit number 7. The lecturer. You have knowledge. You have seen things. You want to share this wisdom. That is natural. But there is a fine line between sharing wisdom and lecturing. Many older men treat dates like a classroom. They monologue for 20 minutes about politics, the economy, or history. They think they are impressing her with their intellect. She is bored. She is not there to attend a seminar. She is there to feel something. When you lecture, you create a parent-child dynamic. You are the teacher. She is the student. This kills sexual polarity. You cannot desire someone who is scolding you or boring you with facts. Instead of lecturing, engage. Ask her questions that challenge her. Make her think, but do not tell her what to think. Keep your answers short and mysterious. Let her ask you for more. Do not dump your entire encyclopedic knowledge on her before the appetizers arrive. Let us look at another example. I know a man, let us call him the captain. He was 52. He started dating a woman who was 29. The captain never tried to dress young. He wore boots and jeans. He drove an old truck, even though he could afford a Ferrari. He never bragged about his money. When they went out, he picked the place. He did not ask, "Where do you want to go?" He said, "I am picking you up at 7. Wear a dress." He led. When she tested him, and she did test him, by acting bratty or showing up late, he did not get angry. He simply withdrew his attention. He was indifferent. He showed her that his time was valuable. If she was late, he left. He did not apologize for his age. In fact, he used it. When she complained about drama with her friends, he just laughed and said, "You will grow out of that." He framed his age as a position of superiority, not a deficit. And guess what? She was obsessed with him. She viewed him as a rock in her chaotic ocean. She did not want a boy her age who was just as confused as she was. She wanted the captain. This is the power of frame. So how do we apply this? How do we stop these 7 habits and reclaim our masculine authority? It begins with a shift in your internal dialogue. You must kill the voice that says you are lucky to be with her. You must replace it with the Stoic truth of self-sufficiency. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Why do you care so much if she validates you? Why do you care if she thinks you are cool? Your value was established long before she walked into your life, and it will remain long after she is gone. Here is the psychological reality. Younger women are often drawn to older men because they are looking for a container. They are full of emotional energy, chaos, and uncertainty. They want a man who is solid, a man who cannot be moved. When you act insecure, when you try to be young, when you lead with your wallet, you are showing her that you are not solid. You are showing her that you are malleable. You are showing her that she can bend you. And if she can bend you, she cannot trust you. She wants to feel that you are the immovable object. So here is your practical application. It is a mental training exercise I want you to do. The next time you are with a younger woman, or any woman for that matter, I want you to practice the pause of authority. When she asks you a question, do not answer immediately. Pause for 2 seconds. Look at her, then speak. When you feel the urge to fill the silence because you are nervous, do not do it. Let the silence hang in the air. Be comfortable in it. When you feel the urge to brag about a purchase or a success, swallow it. Keep it to yourself. Let her discover your value over time. When you feel the urge to apologize for something that is not your fault, like your age, your music taste, or your conservative dress, stop. Own it. Say, this is what I like. This is the practice of indifference. It is not being cold. It is not being mean. It is being self-assured. It is signaling that your internal compass is stronger than her external influence. You must understand that attraction is not a negotiation. You cannot barter your way into her heart with money or compliance. Attraction is a biological response to status and behavior. By eliminating these 7 habits, you stop signaling low status. You stop signaling, I am a provider who hopes for sex. You start signaling, I am a man of purpose who selects a companion. The shift is subtle, but the results are earth-shattering. You will find that when you stop chasing, she starts pursuing. When you stop buying, she starts investing. When you stop apologizing, she starts respecting. It requires courage. It requires you to be willing to walk away. It requires you to accept that you might lose her. But as the Stoics teach us, you never really have anyone to begin with. You only have yourself. And if you sacrifice yourself to keep her, you have lost the only thing that matters. Walk with your head high. You have earned your stripes. You have survived the battlefield of life. Do not let a pretty face make you forget who you are. If you are ready to stop playing games and start living as a man of true Stoic authority, then make sure you subscribe to this channel. We are building a brotherhood here, a place for men who refuse to apologize for their masculinity. Hit the like button if this message resonated with you, and I want you to drop a comment below. Tell me, which of these 7 habits have you been guilty of? Be honest. The first step to fixing a problem is admitting it exists. I read every single comment. This journey is not for the weak. It is for the men who are ready to face the truth. This is Stoic truth, where experience becomes power.